Welcome back to Absolutely Marvel at DC. We got some breaking news in the Snyderverse, and Sal and I wanted to talk about it. It's over.
Who'd have thought?
So basically here, I'll give you a quick rundown as to what has actually happened, okay? Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, and it has the character Darkseid in it. Okay, the movie New Gods was going to have a different Darkseid. WB has decided that since Zack Snyder used Darkseid and supposedly wasn't supposed to, that he has ruined Darkseid for the rest of the DCEU going forward.
What?
And they don't want people to associate Darkseid with that movie. They don't want people to think New Gods is a continuation of that movie.
Wow.
So this is not, I can't find a definitive source. Like WB spokesperson says this. I cannot find that. But what I can find is the director-writer for that movie, New Gods, Ava, I can't say her last name, it's D something. She's very vocal about the cancellation, thanking Tom King and various other people. And various other people who are not like on the loud, vocal, toxic majority of the Snyderverse, like actual directors and photographers, have leaked out that supposedly this is what is going on. WB is trying to separate themselves as far as possible from Zack Snyder's universe.
Okay.
And that has led to the New Gods cancellation.
Wow.
They're also canceled The
bad.
Trench, but I think none of us saw that actually getting made ever.
I remember saying that. I remember when they were like, they're making The Trench, and I'm like, no, they're not. And people getting really mad at me about it.
Yeah, that's not going to come out. I never saw that coming out. It sounded like a great idea. I was excited if it ever did get made. James Wan from Conjuring making a evil sea monster movie, I would have been down.
Well, I mean, for me, I'm like, just make that the Aquaman 2. He has to go back to the trench, got to fight these scary monsters. Although he doesn't. I think because he has the trident, they won't bother him. I don't know.
That or just make a sea monster movie. That would have been fine too.
They're scary enough in that movie. I don't know if you need a whole movie about how scary they are, but whatever.
But anyway, back to the topic on hand. Snyder. So the problem with this is if this definitively is like WB outright state, because for those of you who don't know, when Justice League turned over to the Whedon cut, WB just said, "Hey, Zack Snyder left the project." That's the end of it. There was nothing else to it. They didn't say why. They never said we'll never get it again. But if WB is actively stating we are trying to sever every tie from Zack Snyder, that's a different approach. That is, we will not be getting a Zack Snyderverse. Like, period. No. There's no hope for that.
No, but they're also still using the actors. Like, they're still like, well, I mean, no.
And there's still a Flash movie.
Still a Flash movie. Still Aquaman. Still Wonder Woman.
I mean, Ray Fisher's been fired, Batfleck left, and I think it's pretty safe to assume Henry Cavill's not coming back as the Man of Steel.
I think that's pretty safe to assume.
But we are assuming that it's not official yet. We are assuming at the moment, but
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Let's put it that way. But I mean, I think Warner Brothers has been trying to separate themselves from the Snyderverse pretty much since BVS didn't make $1 billion.
Yeah. No, they have.
When BVS didn't make $1 billion, they were like, well, we're not going to make $1 billion with Cyborg. You know, like it's just not going to. We're not going to make $1 billion making these individual franchises. If our Batman versus Superman movie did not break $1 billion, we're just not going to do it. Right. We got to try. We got to start over again. And every movie since then has been them trying to rework their original plan. Because originally they had one, and now clearly they don't.
It's very clear they have no idea what they want to do. But if they are actively canceling anything that could possibly, like, now they're for what I've heard, they're blaming Zack Snyder for why we're not getting a New Gods movie.
Well, that's pretty par for the course, don't you think?
I mean, that kind of is, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but like I don't know how much of that I actually believe, though. Because you mean to tell me Zack Snyder made that whole movie and promoted Darkseid being in it for months, and no one at DC was like, whoa, if you do this, you're going to kill other movies. Like, no one said that to him?
They just wouldn't have let him do it.
Right.
You know, like, he did shoot a few things. I remember them saying, I think Snyder himself said something to the effect of, they told me not to shoot new scenes, so obviously I still shot new scenes. And it's like, that is something that happens. in the director versus producer conflict that you get in these kinds of adversarial relationships. But Warner Brothers would have just pulled the plug if they said, don't put Darkseid in this movie.
Right.
I think, actually, maybe there might have been an internal memo that's like, don't use the New Gods in anything because we're making this New Gods movie.
Right. They want no correlation to anything that currently exists.
And the people who were in charge of supervising the Snyder Cut just don't know what the hell a New God is. That, like, the people at Warner Brothers just don't know what properties they're working with. And so when they said, I greenlit the Snyder Cut, we got 60% new viewership on HBO Max. Ho, ho, ho. Hey, are Darkseid and Granny Goodness New Gods? Are they what? I don't know what a New God is.
According
because
to our
you
chat,
can't use those.
According to our chat, Snyder did say that W didn't want Darkseid. And I've heard him say that, but he did it anyway. But
They wouldn't have released it. He didn't have the password to HBO Max.
Maybe he did. Maybe they were so fed up with the Snyder Cut thing, they were just like, here's the login. We don't even want to see it. Just
here's the login. I don't even want to look at it. I mean,
that's why this is a black and white one. He's like, oh, I'm also going to do a black and white edition. Just
right. Well, they haven't changed the password yet, so I'm going to put out a black and white version too.
He's hitting up somebody on Twitter. Hey, can I get a thumbnail for HBO Max?
Get a thumbnail. Yeah. I mean, that's how you're going to get one. I don't know, man. It was very abrupt that we lost the New Gods movie and the Trench movie in one go, especially given how in development the New Gods movie was. I mean, like, we've personally talked to Tom King, like, while he's like, I'm literally writing New Gods right now. Like,
yeah.
It's a shame because I would have liked to have seen that movie.
I think because it would have been an interesting twist. I do think there's more to it than just going, we're going to cancel the New Gods because you used Darkseid. By the way, cancel Trench.
Yeah. No, that sounds more like, well, why are we if we're in the business of making replacements for Harry Potter movies, why are we trying to why are we willfully spending millions of dollars on, like, bad guys from an Aquaman movie and a movie about characters that no one who watches our movies will recognize? I
don't know. It's interesting to hear that, because if it is true, then WB is actively being like, no, this time. We're not.
Yeah.
You got what you got. Zack Snyder said he's not doing more. He said he's not interested in doing more. He said WB will not allow it. Half the actors are not a part of WB anymore.
No.
The other half have got 1,000 internal problems. We're just we're killing this whole project, and it's just
not a bad idea. They should just stop and then reassess.
Well, that's kind of what they've done with Shazam. Well, the problem is, like, Shazam's technically in the BVS universe. And
he's wearing the Henry Cavill suit's in that movie.
Flash is in that. Flash is going to be in that universe. Like, it's so weird because they're like, we don't want to do Snyder. We Joker did great, so we're going to do Batman like we did Joker. It's so weird that they do that, and then they're like, but keep doing stuff linked to the original DCEU. Like,
right. And it's I don't understand. I mean, maybe it's just one of those things where it's like, we made decision, like, the timing is off and terrible. Where it's like, well, we're deep in development of this, which is technically that, but we wanted to do this, and that's not until then. So we made a decision here, but all these other things don't really line up, or there's too much overlap, so it looks like we're inconsistent. But really, if you look at that one moment where we made this decision here, it all makes sense. And it's like, no.
Well, they tried to cover it up by being like, there's a DC multiverse. We can do whatever we want. No, that is not the right answer.
They were like, yes, multiverse. That's so great. Multiverse. That'll be our answer for everything.
Yeah.
Hey, Wonder Woman 84. What? Multiverse.
She's still technically the Wonder Woman for the Zack Snyder cut. We'll fire Gal Gadot even though you all want her to stick around. Like,
I don't know if they will. I don't think they will.
No.
I know they're going to keep her.
Yeah, well, imagine trying to find another Wonder Woman that has done as well as she has in that role.
They've already... Have you seen any footage from the Justice Society animated movie they're putting out?
No.
They made the actress who plays Wonder Woman in that do a Gal Gadot accent.
They did?
Yes.
Okay.
They are so connected to Gal Gadot. I mean, they made Robin Wright go like, what is going on here? I don't know. Like, they made everyone... no, that's a Themyscirian accent. Like, everyone has to sound like her. So, no, I think they are 100% on board for Gal Gadot. That ain't going nowhere.
I mean, yeah. It's probably one of the few things that DCEU has over MCU at one point is that they have the first big budget, hugely successful female-led superhero movie. And WB's like, okay, we got that, and we got the ripped Hawaiian guy who's...
I mean, really, like, I like them. You know what they should do? They should make a Wonder Woman Aquaman movie.
Yeah, that'd be a great thing.
Why not? You know, and hey, your big CGI fight is that the war between Themyscira and Atlantis is going to happen, and they have to stop it.
That'd be cool.
Right?
And then Ezra Miller Flash, our chat would like to remind us. Well, yeah, but who knows what's happening because he's literally going to break the timeline. I feel like they're putting way too much on this Flashpoint movie. They're like, it's going to fix it all, guys.
You have already demonstrated you are incapable of knowing what's happening in your universes. There's no way it's going to fix anything.
The worst part about all of this DCEU news and everything is, all of this has happened and the CW's had like carte blanche to do whatever they want, and they've done it well. Yeah. Like, regardless of your opinions on like the drama and the teen stuff they put into the CW shows, they have a consistently flowing universe.
Yep.
With a multiverse theory and crises and all of that.
Yeah. And they're linked to the movies too.
Yeah. Oh, I never thought there'd be a day where I say CW's doing it better than WB Pictures.
Oh my God. That's enough of a wake-up call, don't you think, Warner Brothers? Get it together.
All right, guys, hope you enjoyed our little take on what is going on with the Snyderverse. My name's Benny. That is Sal. Long story short, I want the Snyderverse to continue. I just don't believe it will. Also, little nitpick, can everyone stop tweeting me to get on board with the hashtag Snyderverse? I've literally already tweeted about it. Screw off, all you people that are like, hey, it'd look real good for you if you got on board Snyderverse. I've tweeted about it. I've mentioned it. You ain't getting nothing else out of me until they say something. Like, what do you want? I'm not going to daily tweet Snyderverse crap. Like,
that's what I do.
Oh, just little nitpick. I'm Benny, also known as Comic Story. That's Sal for Comic Pop. We'll see you next time right here at Absolutely Marvel and DC. Can we have a multiverse?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
The multiverse. One episode will have the shaved versions of us, and we're from Earth 3.
That's the evil versions.
Yeah.